Brian Higgins back here, and we're with the true freshman quarterback in A.J. Long. And A.J., you got thrown right into the fire your first game against the number one team in the country. What's that experience like out there last week against Florida State?
It's a great experience, and it's one that I'll cherish for a lifetime. But at the same time, I know that this week I have to move on from it and make sure that the team is ready for Wake Forest.
I'd say one of the things I took away, other than your plays in the third quarter, I saw you on the sideline just standing there smiling. I mean, were you soaking in it at that point, or what's the feeling like?
At that point, it was just like, wow. It doesn't really hit you at first because you're just like, okay, you're grinding playing football. But then when you're actually on the sideline, you're sitting there and you're thinking about it, it's like, wow, like this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Like, you're never going to have that again.
Why do you think you specifically were as composed as you were? Because on the outside, a true freshman playing his first game should not be composed in that situation, and yet you were.
I mean, it was instilled for me from a young age. I mean, football is football. Mm-hmm. I've never been the biggest. I've never been the strongest or the fastest, but I have been the most competitive. So honestly, it was simple for me to go out there and be composed, be relaxed, and just play football the way that I was taught to and the way I know how. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I could have not been able to play on Sunday. I cannot be able to play today or ever again. So, I mean, I was just thankful for the moment I was in, and I was going to make the most of the opportunity that I'm given.
Coach Schaefer has not been shy about saying if you're playing like a backyard dodgeball game, he's picking you first because of that competitiveness. What does it mean when you hear your head coach say that?
It means a lot because I look up to Coach Schaefer a lot, and him recruiting me and the staff being here, I mean, that's one of the things that I'll probably take with me to my grave, knowing that people see that competitiveness in me and that they would take me first over guys on this team that are surefire more athletic than me, like Jared West, Adrian Fleming, Brisley Esteem. I mean, the list goes on and on with those guys, so that means a lot.
I want to hit you with a question about another one of the young guys. It was sort of young guy week. Steve Ishmael's in the end zone for the first two times of his career. How nice was it to develop a connection like that with another freshman?
It was fun. I mean, whether it been anybody else, if it was Steve, if it was Adrian, if it was Jared, Brisley, I mean, it's just great regardless. But the fact that it was me and Steve, and those have been like he's been one of the guys that's been coming here all like the entire time. It was just like, wow. It's like that bond is just like it's gonna be a special one.
Looking at the first touchdown you had to him on replay, it looked like you had a very veteran play. It looked like I see you looking off the safety, you're thrown to the other side of the field. How are you ready to make a play like that so early in your career?
Coach Lester, he is by far one of the best, if not the best, quarterback coach in the country. I mean, week in and week out, he's like he doesn't treat us like freshmen. He wants us to be veterans on the field, even though we've never taken a snap before. I mean, if you see a safety and you have a one-on-one route on the backside, get him away from it at all costs. I mean, if you have to look completely out to the left side of the field just to make sure that your receiver on the right is open, by God, you have to do it to make sure that you give your chance the best possible situation to be successful.
Coach said to us that he almost thought he maybe called a too aggressive game, but for you, does that really fit into your style?
I'm just going to do whatever the game plan calls for. If he wants to be aggressive and take shots, let's do it. If he wants to be conservative and dink and duck people down the field, let's do that too. I mean, anything that's going to take for us to win the game, I'm willing to do.
For you in the last game, you play well. Austin Wilson played well himself, but gets banged up there in the fourth quarter. So it feels like you're probably going to be starting this week. Wake Forest has a true freshman starting quarterback too. What does that do with a matchup? You don't expect to see two true freshmen going against each other.
I mean, it's one that you don't get to. It's one you don't see often. I mean, I'm guessing for me and for him, it's gonna be a special experience because, I mean, coming into college, that's your dream. You come into college and you're a true freshman. I mean, most of them, we redshirt at quarterback because it gives us time to understand the offense, understand defenses better. But in this situation, it's one that's unique and it's special, and I mean, it's going to be a fun one to watch.
And it looked like for you, the plan was a red shirt until Terrell gets hurt. How has he helped you here in the last week and really the last year?
I mean, Terrell's been great. We've had our ups and downs, like me coming in, running my mouth, but since then we've been good. He's a big brother. I mean, he's trying to make sure that this program is successful for years to come after he's gone. I mean, he's helped me understand defenses. He's helped me understand the offense and this situation, what to look at in that situation. I mean, in the game, he talked to me repeatedly on the headset telling me, hey, when we do this, look at that. Or in this situation, you might want to pull the ball because the linebacker he's scraping over the top and nobody's behind him. So, I mean, he's been very, very helpful.
You mentioned your initial interaction there with Terrell. You're not afraid to talk. That's just part of your personality. How does that balance in? You're being the youngest guy on the team, and then really it's your natural personality.
I mean, it's one that people have to get comfortable to. At the same time, I have to adjust a little bit. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have to know that I can't say everything that's on my mind. I have to be able to shorten it down or to not say everything. But I mean, every guys on the team, I mean, they understand me and they understand that I don't try to do it. It just sometimes gets blurted out.
Mm-hmm. And lastly for you here this week, Florida State, they didn't really know what to expect out of the quarterback situations, and they admitted it was a vanilla defense going in. Wake Forest has film on you. They're going to look at it, and they're going to game plan for you. How does that change this week for you, knowing they're going to have a plan for you?
It's just looking at the quarterbacks that they've played and seeing what they did against certain guys. I mean, Florida State, they have Jameis Winston, who's the reigning Heisman Trophy winner and one of the best college football players in the country. So, I mean, I'm not as big as him. He probably moves a little bit slower. But, I mean, their game plan probably will be very similar because we can do a lot of the same things. He can run, he can throw, he moves the pocket. So their game plan will probably be similar to that. If not, they'll probably put more pressure on us because they don't see us as athletic of a team.
All right, AJ, thanks for coming on with us, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, that is AJ Long. We look forward to seeing him out there Saturday at noon.